Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something that many people fail to grasp early enough. Life isn't fair, and no one is coming to save you. It's on you. It's always been on you. If you want success, if you want to create something meaningful, you need to understand these powerful life lessons that will change the trajectory of your future. First, you need to embrace responsibility. Stop making excuses. I don't care what happened to you in the past. I don't care how unfair life's been. At some point, you've got to realize that you are the captain of your ship. You can either blame everyone, everything around you for where you are, or you can step up and take responsibility for where you're headed. No one else is going to come and fix your problems. Nobody owes you anything. If you want change, you've got to make it happen. Own your decisions, own your failures, and own your victories. Life doesn't care about your sob story. Take responsibility and move forward. Second, understand that failure is not the end, it's the beginning. When you fail, you learn, you grow. Failure is not something to run from, it's the crucible in which greatness is forged. Most people are terrified of failure. They're scared to try because they don't want to lose. But here's the truth, every successful person has failed over and over and over again. And that's what made them who they are. Failure is the greatest teacher you'll ever have. When you fail, you get up, learn the lesson, and keep pushing. There's no other way to grow, and there's no other way to succeed. Every setback is just a setup for a greater comeback. Third, get out of your comfort zone. Your comfort zone is your greatest enemy. It's where dreams go to die. Growth doesn't happen when you're comfortable. You can't achieve anything extraordinary by sitting back and taking the easy route. If you want something more, you've got to do something more. You've got to take risks. You've got to face challenges. You've got to push yourself to the absolute limit. When was the last time you did something that scared you? If it's been a while, you're stagnating. It's time to stretch yourself, get uncomfortable, and challenge yourself like never before. That's where true growth happens. Now let's talk about time. Time is the one thing you'll never get back. It's your most valuable asset. Every moment you waste doing something that doesn't move you forward is a moment you'll never recover. Most people are wasting their time scrolling through social media, binge watching Netflix, complaining about their circumstances. That's all time wasted. You want to succeed? You want to build something great? You have to get laser focused on your time. Stop wasting it. Every minute is precious. Every second is an opportunity to get one step closer to your goal. Use your time wisely and make every moment count. Finally, you have to surround yourself with the right people. You become who you spend your time with. If you're around people who are complacent, lazy, and negative, you will become complacent, lazy, and negative. If you want to rise, you need to be around people who push you. You need people who will challenge you, who will hold you accountable, and who won't let you settle for mediocrity. Your circle of influence will either elevate you or drag you down. It's time to start choosing your relationships wisely. Get rid of the energy vampires and start surrounding yourself with those who want more, who demand more, and who will inspire you to demand more from yourself. Now, these lessons are not easy to hear, and they're even harder to follow. But here's the reality, if you can take these lessons to heart and apply them to your life, nothing will be able to stop you. Take responsibility. Embrace failure. Step outside your comfort zone. Use your time wisely, and surround yourself with people who will challenge you. You follow these lessons and success will be inevitable. Get out there and make it happen. You want to change your life, you want success, but here's the brutal truth, it all begins with one thing, responsibility. No one else can carry that weight for you. Too many people are stuck in the cycle of excuses, blaming their circumstances, their upbringing, or even other people for where they are in life. But let me tell you something right now, no one cares about your excuses. The world doesn't care why you didn't succeed. Life doesn't give you any extra points because things were hard for you. Success doesn't come from the excuses you make, it comes from the responsibility you take. When you stop making excuses, you free yourself. You unlock your power. You stop looking outward for someone to blame, and you start looking inward to see where you can improve. It's easy to point fingers. It's easy to say, I would have done this if only I had a different opportunity, but you're lying to yourself. The truth is, every successful person has had obstacles, sometimes even bigger than yours. What sets them apart is they took responsibility for their circumstances and said, this is on me. If it's going to happen, I have to make it happen. They didn't waste their time waiting for the stars to align, and they didn't look to others to create their future. Let me ask you this, when was the last time you sat down and looked at your life? Not through the lens of victimhood, but through the lens of accountability. Can you honestly say you've taken full responsibility for where you are today? Or have you been too busy blaming the economy, your family, your past, or your circumstances for your lack of progress? It's time to stop lying to yourself. It's time to stop making excuses. You have the power to change, but only if you own it. No one is going to give you permission to succeed. You have to claim it. Let me be clear. This doesn't mean you can't acknowledge that challenges exist. Life is tough and it doesn't always hand you a fair deal. But your power lies in how you respond to those challenges. Do you rise up, take responsibility for the situation, and find a way to move forward? Or do you get caught in the trap of blaming, justifying, and complaining? That's the difference between someone who achieves greatness and someone who stays stuck in mediocrity. When you embrace responsibility, you stop being at the mercy of life's circumstances. You stop being a victim. You become the creator of your own destiny. But you have to own your actions. The minute you stop pointing fingers and take ownership of every aspect of your life, that's when the shift happens. That's when the magic begins. You begin to realize that every mistake, every failure, and every setback is something you can learn from. The weight that you once thought was too heavy to bear becomes a tool you use to sharpen yourself, to push you to the next level. You have everything inside of you right now to change your life. But it starts with the decision to take responsibility. Stop waiting for someone else to hand you the blueprint for success. Stop looking for validation. Stop waiting for the perfect moment, and stop waiting for a break. Take responsibility, own it. Every step, every misstep, every setback, and every victory, own it. This is your journey, your story, your life to write. When you stop making excuses, you start to see the opportunities around you. You stop playing small, and you start playing the game at a whole new level. You stop waiting for life to hand you success on a silver platter, and you start creating it. The power is in your hands, but only when you accept that responsibility. The day you stop making excuses will be the day everything in your life starts to change. And when you do, there's no telling how far you'll go. Failure. Most people fear it, they run from it. They let it define them. But let me tell you something that you need to understand. Deeply, failure is not the end, it's the beginning. You see, we've all been taught that failure is something to be avoided at all costs, something that marks the end of the road, the death of our dreams. But that is a lie. In fact, failure is one of the most powerful tools you can use to shape your destiny. Every great success story you've ever heard, every person you look up to, whether it's a business mogul, an athlete, or an inventor, has faced failure. What sets them apart is that they didn't let failure stop them. They didn't let failure make them quit. Instead, they used failure as the fuel to move forward. Every failure is a lesson in disguise. It's an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to become better. The people who succeed aren't the ones who never fail. They are the ones who failed the most, learned the most, and kept going. Failure forces you to evaluate what went wrong. It forces you to look at yourself, at your decisions, at your strategies, and say, how can I improve? What can I do better? And when you ask those questions, you open the door to growth. It doesn't matter how many times you fall. What matters is whether you get back up. Because getting up, getting back in the game, and pushing through the pain and the doubts, that is where true strength lies. That's where character is forged. The truth is, we learn the most about ourselves when we're tested. When things are easy, we don't grow. But when you face adversity, when you go through the fire, you find out what you're really made of. You find out if you're willing to fight for your dreams, if you're willing to keep pushing, even when things don't look the way you thought they would. Failure will reveal your true potential, and it will show you what you need to change in order to succeed. I think about the greatest inventions, the greatest achievements in human history. They didn't come from people who got everything right the first time. They came from people who were willing to fail, to fall, and to keep trying. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before he invented the light bulb. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team, but neither of them allowed failure to define them. They saw failure for what it really is, a stepping stone. Every failure brought them closer to their ultimate goal. And you too can use failure to your advantage. When you fail, you gain experience that success can't provide. You gain perspective that only those who have faced hardship can understand. The lessons learned in failure are invaluable, and they equip you with the strength, knowledge, and resilience to face bigger challenges down the road. So the next time you fail, don't hang your head. Don't feel defeated. Instead, stand tall and recognize that you're just one step closer to where you need to be. You see, failure isn't something that happens to you. It's something that happens for you. It's a tool to shape your future, to mold you into the person you were meant to become. It's your chance to refine your vision, sharpen your skills, and strengthen your resolve. So embrace it. Embrace failure as part of the journey. When you understand this, failure stops being something you fear. It becomes something you welcome, because you know it's not the end of the road. It's just the beginning of something greater. If you want to succeed, you have to be willing to fail. You have to be willing to get knocked down, get back up, and keep going. The people who truly change the world are the ones who refuse to be defined by their failures. Instead, they use failure as the foundation for their success. You have that same power within you. You just have to keep moving, keep learning, and keep fighting. Failure is not the end of your story. It's the beginning of your greatness. And you can't be stopped. Your comfort zone is a trap. You've heard it before, but let me tell you why it's true. The thing about comfort is it's deceptive. It feels good at first, like a warm blanket wrapping you up and keeping you safe. You feel secure, like you have control. But comfort is a lie. It doesn't offer growth. It doesn't offer progress. It only offers stagnation. And in that stagnation, you die a little bit every day. Think about it. When was the last time you truly challenged yourself? When was the last time you stepped into the unknown, unsure of what would happen next? Most of you are so comfortable right now that you don't even realize it. You've become numb to the possibilities because the fear of discomfort is keeping you locked in a cage. And that cage, it's invisible. It doesn't have bars, but it has chains that keep you right where you are. Comfortable but stuck. You might be thinking, but I've got everything I need. Why take the risk? That's exactly why you should take the risk. Because nothing new, nothing truly great, nothing extraordinary ever came from a place of comfort. Success is built on discomfort. It's built on risk. It's built on stretching beyond your limitations and pushing yourself past the boundaries you've set for yourself. Every breakthrough you've ever had, every level of achievement you've reached, every ounce of growth you've experienced, it happened when you were uncomfortable, when you stepped out into the unknown. That's where greatness is made, in the discomfort. Your comfort zone is like a prison, and the only way to break free is to start moving outside of it. It won't be easy. It's going to be hard. You'll face resistance. You'll want to give up. You'll want to return to the safety of the familiar. But let me tell you something, that resistance is the signal that you're moving in the right direction. That's where growth is. It's the fear you feel when you decide to go after something bigger than yourself. It's the hesitation that makes you question if you're good enough, but it's also the very thing that tells you you're on the edge of something great. The world doesn't reward the comfortable, it rewards the brave, the ones willing to step out, face fear, and make the leap into uncertainty. You think the people who are successful never feel fear? You think they never feel doubt? No, they feel it, but they choose to push through it. They choose to take action despite the discomfort. They choose to keep moving, even when the path ahead is unclear. And that's why they win. Because they refuse to be held back by the lies their comfort zone tells them. The truth is, your comfort zone isn't even your true self. Your true potential is so much bigger than that safe space you've created. You've got dreams, visions, goals, and abilities locked up inside of you, waiting to be unleashed. But you'll never unlock them if you stay inside your comfort zone. You're not meant to be mediocre. You're not meant to live a small life. You're capable of so much more. And the only way you'll find out just how much more is by stepping out of what's familiar and into the unknown. Here's the hard truth: you can stay where you are, where it's easy and comfortable, but you'll also stay small. You'll stay in the same place, wondering why things never change, why you feel stuck, why you're not growing. Or you can take a leap of faith. You can break through that false sense of security and choose discomfort over complacency. You can choose to bet on yourself, to challenge your limits, to dare to dream bigger, and to be more than you've ever been. Your comfort zone is a trap, and the only way to escape it is to decide that you are done playing small. You are done with mediocrity. You are done with being held back by your own fears and doubts. It's time to take the first step. It's time to step outside of that prison of comfort and into the unknown, where greatness awaits. It won't be easy, but it will be worth it. And trust me, the moment you break free from that comfort zone, you'll realize that you were never meant to stay in it. You were meant for so much more. So get out there, take the risk, and start living the life you were truly meant to live. Time is the one thing in this world you cannot get back. Once it's gone for good. And yet, most people treat time like it's endless. They waste it on distractions, they squander it on the trivial, and they procrastinate, believing they'll have time later to do the things that truly matter. But let me tell you something, time waits for no one. Every second you waste is a second you'll never regain. That's a fact. Think about it. How much time have you spent in the past week, the past month, or even the past year doing things that didn't contribute to your growth or your success? How many hours have you spent scrolling mindlessly through social media, watching things that add no value, or staying stuck in the cycle of day-to-day survival? Most people are doing this. They're just getting by, living in the moment, waiting for the perfect time to take action. But there's no perfect time. The only perfect time is right now. And yet, they waste it thinking they have all the time in the world. But I'm telling you, you don't. You're running out of time. That's the reality. The clock is ticking, and with every passing moment, you're either moving closer to your goals or moving further away. It's as simple as that. If you spend your time doing things that don't serve you, you're robbing yourself of the life you deserve. You're not entitled to time, you're just a steward of it. You're given the gift of today, and it's up to you what you do with it. You can't afford to waste it. I'm not saying you can't have moments of rest or relaxation, everyone needs that. But how often are you intentionally choosing to spend your time in ways that move you forward? How often are you actively working towards something greater, something bigger than yourself? The truth is, most people aren't. They're sleepwalking through their lives, hoping for success without ever putting in the work that's required to make it happen. They think they'll figure it out later, or they think they'll get serious once they've earned a break. But the truth is, you can't earn a break if you don't put in the work first. Success doesn't come to the person who waits, it comes to the person who acts. Every successful person you admire, every person who's accomplished something great, they didn't do it by sitting around waiting for the right moment. They didn't do it by wasting their time on the wrong things. They got up every single day and worked toward their goals. They understood that time is the currency of life, and they treated it like the treasure it is. That's why they succeeded. So I ask you, how are you spending your time? Are you spending it on things that bring you closer to your purpose? Or are you letting it slip through your fingers on distractions that won't help you when you look back on your life? Are you waking up each day with a plan, with a purpose, with the commitment to make that day count? Or are you letting time pass you by, hoping that things will magically fall into place? The reality is, if you're not actively working toward your goals every day, if you're not prioritizing your time and being intentional with it, you're not going to get where you want to go. The journey to success isn't a destination you can just reach whenever it feels right. It's a daily effort. It's a daily commitment. And the time you spend working towards your dreams is the most valuable time of all. So stop wasting it. You know you can do more. You know you have more potential. But you have to stop wasting time on things that don't matter. The clock is ticking. It's time to get serious about your future. And it starts with how you spend your time right now. So stop waiting for tomorrow. Start today. Take action. Make each moment count. Because in the end, the time you spend on your dreams will be the time that changes your life. Don't waste it. Don't waste your time. Let me make one thing crystal clear: the time you have is the most valuable asset you possess. Every moment you waste is a moment you'll never get back. The question is, how will you choose to spend it? Will you squander it on distractions, waiting for the right time, or will you take full ownership of it, using every second to build the future you truly desire? The choice is yours. You can either allow time to slip away and watch your dreams fade, or you can step up, take control, and start using your time with purpose, passion, and precision. Don't wait for some magical moment to change your life. The magic happens when you decide to take action right now. So get serious. Focus on what matters. Use every minute wisely, because your time is running out. The only thing standing between you and your success is the way you spend your time. Make it count.